Have you ever felt like you were rushing through life, or are you the kind of person who likes to maximize every hour of every day, trying to get as much done as you possibly can in the 24 hours that you're given? If you answered yes to either of these questions, my final question to you would be, why? So the questions that I opened this video with, I posed to you because I consider myself a recovering Leslie Knope, if you're familiar with Parks and Recreation, the TV show. Essentially, if you don't know who Leslie Knope is, she's very intense at her job.
I'm sorry I'm talking so loud. I'm getting louder now and I can't stop. My apologies.
And she is relentless. Like, there is a running joke in that show that she really only gets 4 hours of sleep.
Even though she was exhausted beyond belief.
But obviously, getting 4 hours of sleep for anyone is not healthy and just not sustainable at all. So the reason why I call myself a recovering Leslie Knope, because I used to be like that. I used to think that if I wasn't productive every hour of every day, then I was falling behind in life, whatever that means. And I bring this up because though I am a lot better than I used to be, even just in this past year, I've improved so much, I've chilled out a lot. And I was reminded of this feeling because just the other day, I felt myself trying to force myself to be productive. And that was very alarming to me because if you're still here in the US or, whatever part of the world, we're still very much on this lockdown, quarantine kind of lifestyle. And that was concerning to me because I don't agree with the rhetoric out there, the narrative out there that you need to be so productive during this time and that if you don't come out of quarantine without a new business idea or a new side hustle, then you just waste your time. Like, I don't believe that. I believe that you should use this time however you feel and no one should shame you for it. So that's why I got caught off guard by the thoughts and the feelings I was having and the kind of the pressure I was putting on myself to be productive, because I'm like, oh, that's not how I live my life anymore. That's not how I want to live my life anymore. Like, if anything, being in quarantine, I like to think has caused us as a collective society to rethink how we operate and how we live life. It's really given us the opportunity to slow down and really just take stock of what's actually important. And going back to this idea of rushing, I've constantly asked myself, what is the rush all about? I think today in 2020, even given everything that's been going on this year, we as a global population has really just taken time to reflect on how we've been living our lives, not just as a whole, but as individuals. And I think, again, we live in such a fast-paced world. I think that's largely due to technology and all that, and I totally get that. But when it comes down to it, I feel like we all live under this false sense of urgency. And again, I emphasize the word false because, again, this nature of just rushing through life, putting the pressure on ourselves to achieve certain things by certain ages is just so, I don't like to use this word often because I feel like it's thrown around a lot about several different things, but I do think it's toxic and it's unhealthy to just place this unrealistic pressure on ourselves, especially if you are a younger person. I want us to take this time to pause and reflect, is there anything that is actually worth rushing for? And take this moment to just reflect on your life. Okay, so you thought of that. You may have thought about something, I totally get it. We all have goals and dreams. I don't know about you, but I couldn't think of anything that was worth rushing for. And even the things that I want right now, it's those are things that are out of my control. And it would just be wasted effort for me to try to force things to happen. And then on a global level, I think the only things that are worth rushing for or that do have a sense of urgency is, well, number one, climate change. I think that's unfortunately not taken seriously by the people in charge. And then the second, which is probably the most obvious, is we're in the middle of a pandemic. There is a sense of urgency in finding a vaccine so that we can go back to some form of normal. I guess my whole point of wanting to make this video about rushing through life is just to give you an opportunity, give myself an opportunity to just pause and reflect on that idea of rushing through life, of living a life under this pretense, this false sense of urgency. And I think just the act of reflecting forces you to slow down and to take a pause, and again, to take stock of like what's really important. I think life is meant to be enjoyed, and there's certain parts that just like really need to be savored, and that's not gonna happen, or that's not as easily as achieved if we're just constantly rushing and not taking time. And again, I'm gonna say another cliche, but time to smell the roses, time to enjoy what is happening right here and now. And again, I know this year has just been a mess for everyone, but I think the good thing that has come out of it is that I definitely do appreciate the little things in my life. And I guess I just, lastly, and this mostly has to do with you, the viewer watching, is that it's okay to give yourself a break sometimes. Something I've learned this past year from recovering from being a all-out lesbian nope is that rest is very much a very important part of productivity. If you don't allow yourself to rest, that will just cause you to burn out. If you found this video helpful, I would really appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up. Hit subscribe if you want to see more from me, and ring that bell so you don't miss a thing. And I have made more videos about this intentional living lifestyle design thing, which you could check out here or here. I don't know where I'm gonna put it. All right, YouTube, I'm Marissa Roxas. I'm a filmmaker from San Diego, California, and I hope to help you put self-love first. All right, take care.